One of the most important components or actions in Onum is the message builder. The message builder is the action that allows us to configure the message we're going to send to the destination, and therefore must include the format that the destination is expecting. One of the most common use cases implemented in Onum is reduction, which is why many of the events are sent in CSV format, like the one we can see on the screen. To build this message, we have different options. As you can see, at the top we have the section showing all the fields that have been generated throughout the data flow. We've already mentioned in previous videos that the data or fields are not deleted and we don't see the last version. Instead, we can view all values from the beginning of the flow. All of these values can be dragged into the lower box to compose the message we want to send. As you can see, since we have a delimiter set, every time we add a new value, the separator is automatically included. However, this isn't the only functionality. We can also use the message builder to compose a message that says something like, the number of packets sent was, and here we could drag this field into the message, placing it right after the text. So, as you can see, we can create a message more human readable, meant for someone who's going to process that information. In this way, the message builder gives us a lot of flexibility, because just as we've written a phrase, we could also construct a JSON document or a key value structure. So we can choose the format that suits our needs best. By default, the message builder is the only action that has a predefined name, which is compose message. This name can be changed freely, and we can use whatever name we prefer. However, this is the default name, and like with the delimiter, we can also specify how to handle situations where the delimiter matches one of the characters in the field. In that case, we can choose to escape it with a backslash, replace it with another value, wrap the field in quotes, or remove it altogether. Removing it involves the most loss, as it results in lost information. Still, there may be scenarios where that's the most appropriate choice, and we have all these options available. So how is this used to send to a destination? We normally have a data sync, which in the vast majority of cases is preceded by the message builder, and in the end what we do is simply fill in the information. For example, in syslog, we can choose the corresponding RFC and fill in the fields. For RFC 5424, this includes the priority, app name, where the information is sent, and the message, where we could place our compose message. That is what would be sent in the output event. In the case of using RFC 3164, the compose message goes into the context part. As you can see, it can be specified in any necessary context. Similarly, if we use an HTTP output, remember that if we leave the current configuration as is, we'll be sending data to both endpoints, essentially duplicating the information. An HTTP output is configured in the same way. You configure the method, URL, and remember you can use placeholders to refer to a field. In this case, if we use the $, we are referencing the value of the path variable. Here is where we could place our compose message. Specify the headers, allow or disable bulk, and configure authentication, TLS, proxy, and max number of requests. So this is how data is sent, by composing the message and then configuring the destination in Onum.